Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I am sharing my screen, so on my side, I really can't see anything that's going on the side just because of the way I'm sharing my screen. So if the other counselors want to jump in at any point, if I need to stop or if there's somebody that has to ask a question, because I can't see the chat or I can't see anything as I'm sharing the entire screen. Um, so I'll just go ahead and proceed. So good evening. My name is Marco Garcia. I'm the head counselor here at Sweetwater. I want to thank you guys for taking the time to come and be with us this evening. I know a lot of you guys received the email, the communication that we sent out to you guys, inviting you guys to this workshop, to this presentation. I know that your son or your daughter may be struggling with grades at this point in the semester. We understand that COVID has really impacted everybody in different ways, especially our students. Everybody's working from home. Teachers, staff, we're all doing the same thing, so we understand the struggle. So with that comes a lot of hardship, and some of our students are struggling. The truth is their grades are dipping, and we're seeing a decline in that as the semester has proceeded and has gone on. So we're here to reach out to you guys. We identified you as parents because we saw that your son or daughter had a D or F at some point in the semester, and we want to reach out to you guys. We want to give you guys some tips, some ideas, what we can do to help you guys as this semester comes to an end. So here we have, I have a quote here that I decided to put up that kind of resonated with me. It says, "Behind every young child who believes in himself is a parent who believed first." So that's just kind of the idea. That's just kind of the idea that there is that connection, and there really is a strong connection behind parent belief, parent involvement, and student success. So that's just a quote that kind of resonated with me. Wanted to throw that out there. So we just want to let you guys know you are an important piece to your child's academic success. I'm sure you guys already know that, but I think sometimes we have to hear that, and we have to believe that what we do as parents really does impact our children, really does impact how they perform in school. And this is another little quote here: "Connecting home and school makes us a great community of learners." So we can't stress enough that there has to be a connection between the home, you as a parent, and the school, us as teachers, counselors, administration. There has to be that connection. There has to be that alliance. There has to be that communication. We have to work as a team in order for your children, our students, to be successful. So we need to communicate. We need to work together. So some of the objectives today, a few of the things that we want to cover today as we proceed with this presentation are three things. We want to talk about good study habits. What are good study habits, especially right now that students are at home? We want to make sure that parents are showing interest and that they're aware that they're showing that interest in your child's academic progress and how you can support their success here while they're at Sweetwater. So these are some important things that we're going to cover. Now, these are things that we usually always talk about, whether we are back at school in person, how we have been, or whether it's the pandemic, right? I know right now things are different. Some of these things may look a little different right now that we're in distance learning, but the truth is that these are things that we always encourage. We've encouraged in the past, and we will encourage in the future once this pandemic is over and students are back at school. So the first thing that we kind of want to touch on is encouraging good study habits. with our children. So one of the main things while students are at home, especially because students aren't at school right now, while they're at home, while they're doing their work at home, their homework, their classwork, we need to provide a quiet place that's free of noise and distractions for our students to study, right? Now, I know this can be difficult. It's easier said than done. Everybody is living in a different home situation, and we get that. So the only thing we can ask is for parents to try their best to accommodate a space for the children, for their teens, to be able to study, to do their distance learning, to be able to do their homework, and to be able to do that in a place where they can concentrate for a period of time, obviously. And like I said, everybody's living home situation is a little different. So we need everybody to be a little flexible, I guess, in what they can do to accommodate their children as they are trying to study at home. So this is a big one right now during distance learning. It really is, because kids are home all day and they're doing everything from home. So the National Center for Educational Statistics says that providing a place to study is really one of the main indicators of student achievement, is really a big factor. So this is just another point that kind of emphasizes providing that place to study. 2, we want to show interest in his or her academic progress. What does that look like? That can come in a number of different ways, fashions. It can look very different. But the bottom line is we're asking parents to really show interest in the academics of their children. Parents who talk to their children about school and they limit television, they communicate high expectations, they increase their child's likelihood to be successful. So here are some questions, and I'm not going to read them all, but I'm just going to read a few. These are some questions that can start conversations and a healthy conversation with your child. What did you do in school today? Something as simple as that. What did you do in school today? What did you guys talk about in school today? What did you learn today? So that can get that dialogue going between parents and their children. What was your favorite activity in school today? Is there something you want to do after high school? You can start talking to your high schooler about a career interest. High schoolers are already at the point where they should be thinking of the future. What is that career interest? What do you want to do when you grow up, right? Everybody always asks that question. What do you want to do when you grow up? That's a good question to start asking our children. Be involved in that process. Talk to them about that. See what's on their mind. I know we work. I know we're busy. I'm a father of 2, and sometimes I'm totally tired, and I don't want to ask my child, what'd you do today? But sometimes I have to force myself, and I have to push myself to do that and to really engage and be able to talk about that with my daughters in order to be involved. So these are just some questions that you guys can kind of take from this, and this presentation is going to be recorded. So this is something I kind of forgot to mention, but this is going to be recorded. If you guys want to come back later to get any information off of these slides, whether it's these questions or anything else we're talking about, you guys can feel free to do so. Be positive and give praise. Being positive and giving praise to your children is also something that really engages you and your children in the learning process. These are just some things. Great job studying for your test. I see that your grades are improving. Thank you for cleaning your room. You can spend some time on the computer now. So really showing your child, your teen, that you are noticing the positive things that they're doing. And by you noticing that and giving them praise, encourages them to continue in that positive channel. So definitely we want to give praise and we want to be positive with our children. Supporting high school success. So here I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Tick Tran, and he's going to go over some tips here.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Again, my name is Tick Tran. I'm one of the counselors at SUHi High School. So when it comes to supporting high school success, we have to believe that, it's teamwork that makes dreams work. It's about working together to achieve the common goals. And the common goals is to get the students graduated through high school and explore post-secondary options. The slide here that you see is the just be aware of the graduation and college requirement. They're similar, but at the same time they're different, right? So all the classes that we give to students from 9th grade to 12th grade does meet the high school graduation requirement. And please take note, if the students receive an F grade on the high school graduation requirement, it does not meet the high school graduation requirements. In high school, there's also no GPA requirement. And again, all students are giving these classes somewhere through their 9th through 12th grade year to earn their high school diploma. There's please note also on the A through G requirement, it's a little bit different in the sense that, for our students to take all the required courses, to meet the graduation requirement, but at the same time, the A through G is also a requirement that we embed into the student schedule that will fulfill the minimum requirement to be eligible to apply for universities, such as SU or UCSD. Also, important note to take is that any D's and F grades in their high school core classes does not meet the A through G requirement. Even though it does meet the high school graduation requirement, the D's and F do not meet the A through G requirement. I stand corrected. Again, the F do not meet even the high school graduation requirement. Going back to the slide again, as far as a GPA, the CSU minimum GPA is a 2.0. But again, that's only an average. I'm sorry, that's only the minimum of 2.0 GPA. The average can be a 3.0 and above because the students are competing with other students within their own school, within their own district, and throughout the nation. They're applying for the CSU school. The minimum GPA for the UC school, like UCSD, is a 3.0. But again, please note, an average of a 3.8 and above are being the GPA that the students are being accepted into UC schools. The English language development and special education courses do not meet the A through G requirements, such as the ELD level classes or the fundamental classes. The next slide, slide 11. Please be aware of students' classes and her performance in each. And the parents can help this by monitoring the daily activities, keeping close track of how he or she is doing in class. Also, please take note that because of the COVID, I mean, a lot of communications going out through our social media. One of the best way to keep track of your students' weekly progress or even daily progress is Jupiter Ed. So, I highly encourage that all of you guys, if not all of you guys, have already logged in and been monitoring the grades through Jupiter Ed. As far as grade-wise concerned, each semester, the students do receive a progress report every 6 weeks. The upcoming December 18th is the final fall semester grade. Those are the grades that will be posted onto the transcript and becomes final. The second semester, the first 6-week progress report for the spring semester is February 26th. The next progress report is going to be April 23rd. It is a 12-week progress report. And again, please take note, June 4th, final spring semester. That again is going to be posted onto the transcript. Slide 12, communicating with school. Again, never over communicate either with the staff, with the teachers, with the counselors, with the ministers. Again, communication is a factor, is again working together to achieve that common goals. If you're not getting calls from school, please let us know. I mean, we may not have the correct phone number or email address for you, okay? So make sure you update the contact information. So again, students' achievement goes up when parents signal that school matters and get involved, participate, open house, parent workshop, like you guys are doing now, parent institute, PTSA, school site council. Parents who communicate with teachers and counselors and staff and teachers get informed about school resources and also likely to get necessary support for their children. Slide 13, again, encourage your students to become involved in extracurricular activities. Study shows again that students are involved in extracurricular activity excel their peers academically, and also extracurricular and community service are viewed favorable in college admissions and scholarship. Again, when the students are involved either in bands, sports, clubs, or anything like that, the purpose of belonging to be in the school, and a sense, again, a sense of belonging in the school really helps kids to be motivated to do well in school. Slide 14, I'm going to go ahead and pass that on to Ms. Luansin Garcia, who will be talking for the rest of the slides. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ms. Luansin Garcia, one of the 3 Garcias on the counseling team. And so we're going to talk about tutoring. So even though we're in distance learning, we do still have tutoring available. It is in online. It's still through the distance learning format, but there is tutoring available to students who need extra help. And so the subjects for those for now are science, math, English language development, visual arts, performing arts, and special education. Tutoring happens after 2:30. The schedule changes weekly, so it's just depending on what students are working on, which staff we have available to work tutoring at that time. So if you're interested in finding out what the tutoring schedule is, you can visit SUHicounseling.com. There is a tutoring tab on our website, and that gets updated every time the tutoring schedule gets updated. There is a tutoring schedule that just came out, I believe it was yesterday. So it's brand new. So there is tutoring happening between now and the end of the semester. So we encourage students and parents to check that out. Go ahead and skip this one because that's some outdated information. Skip that slide. Okay. So if you have not yet visited SUHicounseling.com, that is the counselor's website. Everything and anything related to the work that the school counselors do is found on this website. Sometimes it can get a little overwhelming because there is a lot of information on this website, but like the slide shows here, if you put your email address where that brown arrow is pointing, you'll get an email at least once a week with the updates and announcements that have been placed on this website, just to kind of keep you up to date about the things that are happening in regards to the Counseling Center, like meetings like this. So at this point, we'll entertain any questions you might have. So you can unmute yourself if you would like to, or if you want to put your question in the chat, we're okay with doing that as well. So if anyone has any questions.
Hi.